Hi everybody, Catherine Kamen, Technical Seed Agronomist with Winfield United here. So when you think about what's going on in corn right now and what's going to be happening in the next 10 days, one thing that comes to mind to me is corn rootworm. You know, why though? What's going on in the next 10 days with corn rootworm? So right now, corn rootworm are starting to hatch. They actually have been hatching. I'm sure you all have heard the time-old adage that when lightning bugs start to twinkle in the night sky, it means that corn rootworm are starting to hatch. And this past weekend, I've seen my first lightning bugs. So what's the science behind that though? Corn rootworm need about 500 GDUs accumulated before they start hatching. In the southern part of my territory, Springfield, Illinois, over to Indianapolis, Indiana, there's right over 700 GDUs so far accumulated this spring. As you move north, obviously that number decreases. So, you know, I'm sure rootworm are definitely hatching down there if they're down there, and they're slowly coming out as we move up. Right now I'm in Kankakee County, Illinois, and there's been about 600 GDUs. So I'm going to dig a couple plants today, show you how to do some root washes, and hopefully we find a couple. Just some quick facts about corn rootworm. So they're going to emerge, and then they go through 3 different stages or instars, and each instar takes about 7 to 10 days. They grow and they continue to grow, and the bigger they get, the more they eat. So here I have, I dug one of these corn plants. It's about V7, so the nodal roots are definitely showing and coming out. They're going to burrow into these nodal roots and turn them brown and just eat all the tissue on the inside of them. And it's gonna make it look like, if you start to dig these and there's been a lot of feeding damage, they're just gonna look like a stubby root ball. It's not gonna be as big and as crazy as the root balls usually are. And they're gonna be brown, and it's gonna be very noticeable to where there's probably going to be goosenecking going on in the field later in the season, or even you're gonna have stand issues. Stuff is gonna start to fall over because there's nothing anchoring it in the ground. Okay guys, let's go ahead and dig some of these plants and see what we find later on. Okay, after digging your plants, you're gonna go ahead and put your corn plants into a couple containers of water. So here I have my 2 plants in just buckets of water. You're gonna stick them in there, let them set for a little bit, and the great thing about rootworms is that they're gonna float to the top. You're looking for a worm that's about, that's not a rootworm, that's like a centipede. That's white in color with a dark brown head, and it also has a black plate near the butt of the worm as well. I'm not seeing any in here. None in this bucket either, which I guess is a fortunate thing for the farmer, but an unfortunate thing for this video. So just keep in mind, doing root digs and floating for rootworms is only one tool in your guys' toolbox when just trying to decide, you know, should we be using Smart Stacks corn or should we be using Double Pro corn? Smart Stacks corn is going to have that underground protection, protecting the roots of these plants from rootworm feeding. So go out, scout your fields, and use this as a tool when trying to determine proactively if you guys should be planting Smart Stacks or Double Pro corn next year.